The Apple That Changed the World, the complete story of Isaac Newton ****. Imagine sitting in a quiet garden, the wind gently rustling the trees, when suddenly ***thump*** an apple falls from a branch in front of you. Most people would think nothing of it. Just an apple. Just gravity. But for one man, that moment was a spark, a question that ignited a scientific revolution that would forever change our understanding of the universe. That man was Isaac Newton. Humble beginnings, born into silence and storm ****. Isaac Newton was born on January 4, 1643, in the tiny village of Woolsthorpe, England, during a time of civil war and unrest. He was born prematurely, so small and weak that no one expected him to survive. His father had died 3 months before his birth, and when he was just 3 years old, his mother remarried and left him in the care of his grandparents. This early abandonment would shape Newton's personality: solitary, introspective, and deeply sensitive. As a child, Newton was far from ordinary. He wasn't drawn to games or mischief like other boys. Instead, he spent his time building models of windmills, drawing intricate sketches, and watching the movements of the stars and clouds. Nature became his silent companion, and the laws behind it stirred his curiosity. A shift in character, from average to extraordinary ****. Newton's early academic life wasn't particularly impressive. At King's School in Grantham, he was considered an average student. But one day, after a fight with another student, Newton vowed not to defeat him with fists, but with intellect. That marked the turning point. He immersed himself in books, science, and mathematics, rising rapidly to the top of his class. In 1661, Newton entered Trinity College at the University of Cambridge. There, he encountered the great minds of the scientific revolution: Galileo, Kepler, Descartes, but rather than simply study their work, Newton began to question and build upon it. He believed that the universe could be understood through mathematical laws waiting to be discovered. The plague years, solitude and the spark of genius ****. In 1665, the Great Plague forced Cambridge to shut down. Newton returned to his family's farm in Woolsthorpe, where he lived in isolation for nearly 2 years. But what seemed like a setback became the most productive period of his life, what historians now call his annus mirabilis, year of wonders. It was during this time, as the story famously goes, that Newton saw an apple fall from a tree. He asked a question so simple that it had gone unnoticed for centuries. Why did the apple fall straight down? Why not sideways, or upwards? This innocent question led him to a profound realization: there must be a force pulling objects toward the earth. And if gravity acts on apples, could it also act on the moon? Could the same invisible force control the heavens and the earth? The answer would become the foundation of universal gravitation. But Newton's insights didn't stop there. In his quiet countryside retreat, he developed calculus independently from Leibniz, formulated the 3 laws of motion, began exploring the nature of light and optics, laid the groundwork for modern celestial mechanics, publishing the laws that govern the universe ***. When Newton returned to Cambridge, he became a professor and soon after a Fellow of the Royal Society. In 1687, after encouragement from astronomer Edmund Halley, Newton published his magnum opus, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy. This groundbreaking book redefined physics. In it, Newton introduced the 3 laws of motion ***. 1. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. 2. Force equals mass times acceleration, F equals ma. 3. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The law of universal gravitation. Every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force that is proportional to their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. With these laws, Newton explained how planets orbit the sun, how tides rise and fall, and why objects fall to the ground. The universe was no longer a mystery, it was a system governed by precise, predictable laws. Conflicts and controversies, the flawed genius ***. Newton was not just brilliant, he was also fiercely private and painfully sensitive to criticism. he became embroiled in bitter rivalries. With Robert Hooke, over the nature of gravity and light. With Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, over who first invented calculus. Though both men likely developed calculus independently, the dispute turned ugly and lasted for years, damaging Newton's reputation and relationships within the scientific community. Later life, from scientist to statesman ****. In his later years, Newton took on powerful roles. He was appointed Warden of the Royal Mint and later became Master of the Mint, where he reformed England's currency system and relentlessly pursued counterfeiters. He also became President of the Royal Society, using his position to steer the direction of British science. In 1705, Queen knighted him, making him Sir Isaac Newton, the first scientist to receive such an honor. Death and legacy ****. Newton died peacefully in his sleep on March 20, 1727, at the age of 84. He was buried in Westminster Abbey, among kings and poets. On his tomb was inscribed, "Here lies a man who unveiled the laws of the universe." His legacy is unmatched. Newton didn't just explain motion or gravity, he changed the way we see the universe. He taught us that the universe operates according to natural laws, not chaos or whim. His work laid the foundation for modern physics, astronomy, engineering, and mathematics. As Albert Einstein once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." And the greatest of those giants was Newton. The apple that fell wasn't just a fruit, ****. It was the seed of an idea that would shake the heavens.